This is Dr. Young, and I'm going to talk about your week 5 question and your individual work. Sorry if I sound a little raspy. So for your discussion question, you're going to talk about background checks, give your opinion whether you think testing or interviewing is more effective and why, and then what guidelines HR managers should follow to make sure that they're following all the EEO rules for employee selection. Having said that, then you're going to go back to, you're going to go ahead and answer that question, and you're going to go to your individual work, and I like to spend more time on the individual work questions because there's more to it. What I'm noticing is some students are not kind of paying attention to the assignment requirements as far as length requirements. Please read these, because if you give me a page and it's 2 full pages, I mean, that's half of your grade. So it does matter. I mean, it's not that, they give you a kind of a guideline so that you can make sure to cover all of the content needed. So please make sure to pay attention to that, because if it's, I'm not counting sentences, but if you're writing, if I'm getting if it's supposed to be a 2 to 3 page paper and you're giving me half a page or a full page, that's not going to be enough. So just make sure you're paying attention to that. What you're going to do here is go to the supplemental case. It's on page 243. It's also in this PDF. So you should be able to actually just click on that link and pull it up. But if you can't, it's in your text as well. So what you need to do is read this case study and answer the questions. It's 1 and 2. What you're going to do is read this and then compare and contrast the strategies that are used. And then kind of based on what you've learned in the class, you want to make some suggestions on how they can actually make their selection process better, more efficient, more successful. So that's what you're looking for here. So please make sure that you write your papers in APA style. There are APA resources in the class in the left menu. I would also go to the OWL at Purdue. That's a great resource as well. So you want to make sure that you, kind of talk about the cases and everything and what you think would be a better way. I'm going to go back to the case real quick. There's not a whole lot of information, but there's enough telling you how they actually staff. So you want to make sure that you're just covering that. What could they do better? Hallmark, for example, has a recruiting metric called a staffing index, and that enables management to track the degree to which newly hired employees are performing as expected. So you've got a lot of evaluations there, and when they do that, they kind of get a benchmark of how new employees should perform. And that kind of is what they might put you on a probationary period. They might say, okay, well, we're going to give you 90 days and we'll see how you do, and then we're going to decide if we're going to keep you on permanently. There's companies that do that actually, sorry, this is popping up there, that actually have that kind of period where they will try out the employee. It's basically trying them out. That's one strategy. You may or may not agree with that, but if you don't and you have a better suggestion, just, that's what you want to write your paper about. So I'm not going to go over the second group because I'm sure that you can do that yourself. But I just kind of wanted to talk about one and just kind of give you an idea of where to go with this assignment. And you're going to read a lot of strategies, and you're going to see some in your lecture and in your text. Feel free to use those. You can pretend that you're charged with changing the whole selection process, and what would you do? So again, just make sure you're using the APA resources in this class as well. I'm going to go to tools and resources. We're going to kind of see if we can find some of those. I'm sorry, my computer's a bit slow, so I do apologize. There we go. APA. Here's 3 really good resources personally, and I always say this is my favorite, Purdue, but that's just a preference, personal preference, and it doesn't matter as long as you're formatting your papers correctly. I do look at that when I grade, so just make sure that you're doing that. If you have any questions or concerns about this assignment, let me know. I'll be happy to assist you. And I hope you're enjoying the course. We're almost halfway through it, believe it or not. So just feel free to let me know if you have any concerns so far. Take a moment to check your grades, see if everything looks reasonable. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks and have a good day.